expected the most grueling, tough mountain bike race. It is going to be so incredibly torturous tomorrow. Yeah, you're going to leave that starting line at 10,200 feet. You're going to go up and up. You're going to be sucking that air that has absolutely no oxygen in it at all. Oh, is it going to hurt? But you know the reward? The reward is when you cross that finish line. The one that pulls our heartstrings, the one that we are in love with, the one that we say is the Leadville Trail 100 champion, and that is Dave Ween. Dave, where are you?
You got 1,300 people in there rooting for Dave. It doesn't matter if he wins or loses or comes in last or DNFs, he's going to be our champion forever, you know.
6 years ago today, it was a lot different, this race. A lot of things haven't changed. We're still in this gym, which is pretty cool. And it's still an out and back format, and it's the heart and soul of the race, which is you people. There's a race at the front, and that's where there's a lot of attention, but it's everybody else. So. What
a champion! What a great champion!
The Leadville Trail 100 race course begins and ends in Leadville at 10,200 feet. It's a mass start out of town where the road quickly turns into dirt. There begins a big climb up St. Kevin's. Then the trail intersects the pavement around Turquoise Lake where there's a fast descent. Racers continue up Sugarloaf Pass, another tough climb over 11,000 feet. From there, the riders ascend down to the power line, and then onto the pipeline before heading to the Twin Lakes feed station. Here, the racers begin the tortuous 3,000-foot climb to the summit of Columbine Mine at 12,570 feet. Now, all you have to do is retrace your steps back into Leadville. And if you finish in under 12 hours, the coveted Leadville 100 belt buckle is yours.
There's a whole different ambiance around the Leadville 100, and I think it's partially the fact that you're lining up with everybody. It's not just an elite race of the best bike racers in the world.
The six-time former champion has just arrived. Guys, the Austin Assassin and the Gunnison Gunslinger.
This year, I don't know what Lance's strategy is going to be. Is it going to be to sit back like we did last year and kind of let the race unfold in front of us? Is it going to be to attack hard from the beginning?
This is going to be the race of a lifetime.
Ladies and gentlemen, get your motors running. This bike race is on. And the man in black has drawn thousands of spectators and provided a once-in-a-lifetime thrill for the 1,400 competitors in this year's field.
Hannibal! We'll see you back here in a few hours!
For the riders, the race begins with a neutral procession to the town limit. This neutralized start gives the riders a chance to catch a glimpse of six-time winner Dave Wiens, and maybe steal a quick, nervous glance at Lance Armstrong, who looks fearsomely fit after finishing the Tour de France only 3 weeks prior. The early miles still on pavement see a huge peloton led by Fort Lewis College's Matt Shriver. The compact field includes such luminaries as national champion Tinker Juarez and Travis Brown.
The Leadville 100 to me does seem like kind of a combination of a mountain bike race and a road race.
A lot of open road, a lot of fire road, even a lot of pavement, and a course that suits a road rider.
And as the road turns to dirt, this grueling adventure is about to begin.
Things that make this race so difficult are its length. 100 miles for a mountain bike race is a very, very long race. And the altitude, where we start at 10,000 feet. The high point of this race is over 12,000 feet. And the amount of climbing from the start to the finish is significant too.
And the Lance effect can be seen immediately. The Leadville 100 has never seen such a blistering tempo set at the beginning.
Leadville just has this really interesting combination of surfaces and hills, and then the whole package makes it a really compelling race.
In the Leadville 100, if the expected obstacles aren't challenging enough, you can always order yourself one side of beef on the hoof. The 7 riders in the lead pack negotiate a fast, sweeping descent on pavement around Turquoise Lake before the beginning of the next climb. Matt Shriver continues to do the work, keeping the pace high and conferring with Lance Armstrong as to exactly what tactics should be employed. Dave Weens is content to follow the wheels of the leaders on the fastest section of the course, biding his time for the grueling climbs to come. Lance Armstrong is renowned for his quick pedaling cadence, and it is on full display on this descent. Still, early in the morning, cold and foggy, the pack heads up to the summit of Sugarloaf, which is over 11,000 feet and way above the tree line. At mile 15, the pavement yields to dirt once again as the Sugarloaf climb begins. The wicked pace has tattered the field, and only these 7 men are still in the front. The lead pack, still led by Matt Shriver, also contains Alex Grant, Dave Weens, Lance Armstrong, Tinker Juarez is there, Len Zanni, and Brian Alders. A little bit further down the race course, climbing at his own tempo, is Travis Brown on the Sugarloaf climb.
In the last 2 years, the excitement surrounding this event has blown up so much that I had an opportunity to come this year and I just couldn't pass it up.
Last time I got to ride it with my brother and my dad, which was an awesome experience. I started the race and I was with Floyd and Dave, and I knew I didn't have it in me, so I kind of held back and waited for my dad and brother, and we all rode across the line together, which was the coolest experience I've had.
Next on the list of obstacles for the racers is the infamous powerline descent. It is spooky fast, technical, loose, rutted, and has been the scene of many a nasty crash in the past.
Rocky, sandy, rutted. Looks like it, you know, when it rains, there's tons of waters coming down this hill. You can hear the sizzle of the power lines overhead. It's crazy looking.
This is going to be the most exciting part of the race, probably.
One of the best descenders in all of mountain biking is Dave Wiens. He leads the front group down the powerline descent. The rain has begun to fall, making a dangerous descent that much more treacherous. David Wiens riding smooth with Lance Armstrong on his wheel. Matt Shriver taking a rare respite, sitting in third position as our leaders go down the powerline descent.
Leaders have passed. Leaders have passed.
One of the finest descenders in all of mountain biking is Travis Brown. And even though he is riding on drop bars, more common to a road bike, he's making good time on the powerline descent.
All right, so what happened?
Cut my tire.
Cut your tire?
Couldn't get a boot to hold. Oh well. Can't win them all, right?
Yeah.
David Wiens, still leading, knows this course like the back of his hand, and he finds perhaps the only dry crossing of this creek bed, and Lance Armstrong astutely follows Wiens' wheel. The rest of the field not so lucky to have a guide like David Wiens.
Right behind you, right behind you, right behind you, right behind you.
The world's best endurance mountain bike racer for women is Rebecca Rush. She finds her own way around that creek crossing, surrounded by a pack of guys. She's used to that. She's usually in the front.
Here comes Ricky.
I got 15 stickers on my helmet. You know, it's one of those old school bed of shell helmets that I bought brand new. Now, you know, it's like totally retro.
Oh, Ricky!
But it wasn't when I bought it, so.
Oh, Rick!
Got a long shot down the pipeline. Make up time here. This is where the guys ride Tour de France style, and they're flying.
Back out onto Pipeline Road with Lance Armstrong leading. This is a less technical and much flatter section of the race course. The leaders blow right through this aid station, but most will stop for some much needed refreshment.
In between Twin Lakes and the Powerline climb, you've got this section of sort of forested sagebrush, which there's a lot of flats, there's a lot of small little hills and little poppers, so it's got a completely different character than other parts of the course. So riders typically that excel at Leadville aren't just pure climbers. You've got to be able to motor on the flats as well, because there's a good bit of that in the course.
This section links the technical Powerline descent with Twin Lakes, and we see some more traditional road tactics in play.
The Leadville 100 is a unique race in that there are several sections in between the climbs where the road is flat, and it is mostly road, even though some of it's really rough. And it's straight enough that you can actually ride as a group and improve your efficiency as a group by drafting, much like you can in a road race. So I think in this race you'll see definitely as the race progresses and evolves, people are going to find their people, and there are going to be groups of people riding together, because there's an advantage in this event, unlike some mountain bike events, to being with other people.
We all have a special role. I'm a hydration specialist, sunscreen specialist, Swedish fish.
She's the magical one.
I'm slap the butt as hard as you can specialist.
We got you.
I love my daughter.
All right.
And I love my wife. I'm all dirty.
Okay.
He was expected here 15 minutes ago, so we'll see.
We're having fun now. Who's passing me? I gotta get these guys. Go!
It's been a little bit wet.
Yeah.
Hey, you got it?
You'll be good.
And we're having fun.
Good.
That's important.
Somehow.
Can you take anything off of you?
Okay.
All right, good job.
2 minutes.
Don't have to be smart to ride a bike. That's the good news.
Thank you so much. See you guys.
He's got Lance in his sights.
And do you want that?
Thanks, babe.
I think I'm thawed, almost. Couple toes left.
Next time, you're gonna crush it.
You're gonna do it, Mom.
She's a finisher.
How far is down up there?
10 minutes.
9. Gotta get him.
Go.
Go get it.
Now the big climb.
Good luck, you got it. Good luck. Keep doing it.
All right. All right. See you guys on the return. Yeah.
Good luck,
Keep
Keep it up, buddy. Keep it up.
Columbine Mine is a brutal 3,000-foot climb that quickly begins to wind its way above the tree line. The highest point of the race is reached at its 12,570-foot summit. This is the halfway point and where the long death march for home begins. Lance Armstrong's engine is legendary. His cardiovascular system and pedaling efficiency have made molehills out of mountains. And riders the world over have felt the sting of his ceaseless strangulation in the most stratospheric of cycling environments.
He's on pace to break 6 hours.
Who is it?
It's Lance. It's got to be Lance.
Lance, hopefully.
Yeah, there he comes right over
There he
the
is,
top.
black jersey.
I think it's Lance. I see white forks and a black jersey.
To race across the sky is to see a man as close to flying as is humanly possible.
Way to go! Way to go!
Farther down the race course, but now into second place is Dave Weens. He is deep into his long climb, but seeing your rival descending while you still have some climbing left is a serious blow to the morale. Lance has tasted blood, and he can measure what he knows he has left against what he can see in Weens' eyes.
You guys.
Our second rider behind Lance was Dave Weens, and he came in at a time of 10:03, which was 10 minutes behind Lance.
Most certainly the climb has given Armstrong wings, but mountain biking is not just about climbing. It's also about having the technical skills required to avoid all the pitfalls this descent provides.
Elevation that high, you just have to be very careful with your efforts. You have to know that, above 10,000 feet, there's no recovery.
Going up to 12,000 feet in the race, you feel it. Everybody reacts differently to the altitude. It's a major factor in the race.
As compelling as these 3,000 feet of climbing are, what makes the Leadville 100 truly epic is the 14,000 feet of total elevation gain, all taken at over 9,000 feet above sea level.
Since it's an out and back, when we're coming down Columbine, everybody gets to see the leaders come by. A lot of times, saying hi, good job, go. Lance got into that last year where, he was cheering people on as we came down the mountain, and it was pretty cool.
Unlike anything else I've ever done, everybody is encouraging everybody else. You just obviously don't see that in the tour. And I've never seen it in anything else, and so really, really special to see that last year, and one of the best memories I have, and it's almost a bummer when you get to the last person and then you're all alone. You don't have anybody encouraging you that's on their way out.
Having safely negotiated that long descent, Lance comes warping past Twin Lakes again, cheered on by Anna Hansen and Max Armstrong, perhaps Lance's biggest fans at this year's race.
How you feeling at the top of the world here?
Nuts on top. I'm too cold.
Travis Brown negotiating his descent of the Columbine Mine, while Rebecca Rush, the leading woman, way ahead of her field, gets near the top of the summit. Dave Weens coming through Twin Lakes once again, chasing Lance Armstrong.
This should be good.
If after 4 hours of racing you haven't made the first passage of Twin Lakes aid station, you are pulled from the event. This is to avoid the prolonged agony of Columbine Mine and the real potential for danger.
Please don't let that be my husband.
Cut off time.
Starting now.
Go it! My husband is go it! Go it! Get this! You cut off.
First one?
Oh!
shot.
Good job.
You're done.
Shutting me down?
Yeah, we are, unfortunately. Way to go
Four
out there.
flats will do that to you.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry to get your band, too.
I'm actually kind of grateful.
Thanks for being out here. All right.
It's okay. Here he comes.
Hubby? You, that's okay. Stop. Come back. Come this way. There you go.
Head it off.
That's all right. We're good.
Good job.
It's okay. It's all right. Take it.
You're okay.
Take your band.
We're very proud of him. He'll do it again next year. I just want him to be safe, and that's all.
He'll finish next year. He knows it.
It's tough. It's tough. It's hard to train that hard to come up just that short.
Thank you for sparing me my misery.
I don't have to hang around.
I gave him all.
I know you did. You always did.
When they got back, they
We had to cut a good friend off at 4 hours on Twin Lakes outbound. He gave it his all.
Thanks, girl. I hate seeing you like this.
I know. I hate seeing you like this, too. Oh, man.
If you call me this winter, I'm going to shoot you. Let's go.
All right.
As the trail of destruction in Lance's wake gets inexorably longer with each pedal stroke, Lance deftly grabs his feed bag, which contains the life-giving fuel he will need to carry him to the finish line. Adding insult to agony, some nasty weather has moved in, further compounding the course's brutality for the majority of the riders. They say there is no rest for the wicked. They say there is a place where there's no pain or sorrow or toil. This is not it. This is what makes the Leadville 100 so challenging and a true honor for all who finish.
Good job, Ryder! It's sleeting and it hurts. I don't know how they're riding in it.
Go get him, man. Great.
If it doesn't move, it shouldn't care. Yeah. It shouldn't care.
Still leading the women's field is Rebecca Rush. She is greeted by hailstones at the top of the Columbine Mine.
Oh. All right. Well, I think you're pretty much, you're not going to make the cutoff on this thing. You're not going to, you don't feel like, I'd like to get you down to St. Vincent's and see if we could just see this spring, okay? Okay. All right, here, just listen. You want to just get him to St. Vincent's.
Big poke.
Okay.
A great champion recognizes the events that capture the imagination.
It's 11:11 right now. It's 11:11 right now.
After seeing this race course in 2008, Lance vowed to never approach it again without being able to ride at record pace. On the return to Leadville, at the base of the power line climb, you are approximately 80 miles into this race, and now you must face a long, heinous, loose, and technical climb.
It goes from up to straight up to way up.
With resolve pulverizing fatigue creeping into your arms and legs, very few riders are able to clean this grueling sting in the tail. No bike race is complete without the lunacy of the screaming fans just inches away from the competitors. Life may well be like a box of chocolates, but the Columbine Mine and Power Line climbs are not. And while the cheers from the hoi polloi are most welcome, for Lance Armstrong there are still many miles to go.
The rain was at which time?
The off-camber double track is where most riders have to dismount and hike a bike.
I'm racing with the people. I'm, competing just against what I've done, what I can do. It's just a lot of fun, challenge.
A little muddy, a bit of hail, a bit of wind, a bit of rain, everything. It's awesome, yeah.
Yeah, we got some pretty gnarly hail coming up the way here. It was really stinging pretty badly. It's just like coming in the vents of my helmet, like ow, ow, ow. Coke up there?
Yeah, we got Coke. You want that Coke?
What, can I pee right here? No.
Yep.
I'll take a Coke when I get back.
Don't pee into the wind.
Hey, whatever they need, change the tires, anything. Little gas in the engine.
Oxygen.
We're giving it to them.
Chicken soup. How are the conditions out there?
Cold. It's good though. Just gotta try to eat.
Okay, keep moving the bike. I'm just gonna have a picnic. I'm in no hurry.
All right, no problem.
The guys that are feeling good are already gone. The rest of us feel like
Must have a small air bubble in the brakes. Air expanded, I have no brakes.
You have no brakes?
So I can't go down until I get it fixed.
You know what? They could have handed me a brick or something and I'd have eaten that, because that's a big hill.
I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in 1980.
Wow.
Yeah, young girl. It's never gotten in my way of living my dream. If I tell you what's gonna get in my way, it's this altitude.
Yeah, you're gonna have to keep pumping them. Over. That's perfect. That'll hold it.
Okay.
Thank you. My hands are numb. Yeah, you guys rock.
Glasses, you got
Anything else? Go. Good job, guys. Good job.
For most of the riders, the Power Line climb comes after so many miles that walking is the best way to ascend. Dave Wiens is no exception to this, and the strain of chasing Lance Armstrong throughout the day is beginning to show.
Good form, good form. Go, 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 go! Good, nice. Nice, Dave. Good job.
Great job.
You finished up. It's very good. Come on, push, push, push. Harder, harder, harder.
Got the rhythm back. There you go. Nice. Way to go, dude.
Come on, Len. Allez, go, go. You're on camera. Me too. Come on. Courage, courage, courage. You know? Oh, he's cruising very fast. Dave Wynn was walking here too. Oh.
To win Leadville 6 times, the word surrender must be missing from your vocabulary. And for Dave Wiens, the closing miles of this year's race are an opportunity to soldier on and never surrender.
Way to go, way to go. Stay patient there.
There you go.
I got a couple flats, 3, so I'm working my way up, but I've blown up maybe probably 3 times too. Oh man. So, trying to catch up. Here you go. But I'm still going. You are. And this is a hard race.
There's no shame in walking when everyone else is walking. Except maybe Lance and Dave.
Way to go, Riders! Way to work it. Good job, sir. Would you like a push?
You know, you come up here and you see old friends you haven't seen for a year.
Okay, Fred. You're looking good this year. Looking good every year. Way to go, Fred.
You meet people that know you, that you pass on the trail, that you say hi to year after year and you've never met. I met a guy just here that has done all 15 of them that I had never talked to before. So, you know, it's kind of fun. It's like coming home.
Riders! Sir, would you like a push? Yeah. Okay. I got you.
Good job. Good job.
This is our 5th year up here. We call it our unofficial power line aid station. We give the guys Coke, water, Bud Light, some kind of salty crackers to help them out, Mike and Ike's, and more importantly, moral support and cheering.
Good job, Ryder!
Even Lance Armstrong's coach, Chris Carmichael, is struggling up this power line climb.
Oh, water. Boss.
Buddies again.
Yeah.
Blew up. I didn't have it to blow up with.
Things that freak me out are the rooty courses that are in the trees and never really dry out, and it's hard for anybody to find a line on that stuff.
With clear sailing and a hero's welcome waiting, what could possibly go wrong for Lance Armstrong?
Oh boy.
The only thing that can go wrong just has. A flat tire with 7 miles to go. His nervousness is compounded by not knowing exactly how far Dave Wiens is behind.
I think this has got some goo. Think it's good?
An unsatisfactory change, and Lance is back to the original CO2 cartridge. The futility is obvious, and Lance decides to carry on and finish up on a flat tire.
You got it, buddy. Looks good, looks good. Downhill, buddy.
What should have been for Lance Armstrong a triumphant procession into Leadville in the finish turned into a rather desperate struggle against the charging Dave Wiens and the fading flat tire to the rear.
I think I gotta just ride it. Man, you're all over the road.
Lance Armstrong will not let this deter him from his goal.
Drag it downhill. Drag it. There you go. Go, go, go.
The return to Leadville in the lead of the race is sweet indeed for Lance Armstrong. And his only answer to adversity has always been to meet it head on with everything he has. A great champion, once again defined by an epic event. A little icing on the cake, a new course record, 6 hours, 28 minutes, and 17 seconds, absolutely obliterating the previous record set just a year ago.
In 2007 and in 2008. Definitely the only person to be the champion.
For Dave Wiens, the 2009 Leadville 100 would not bring his 7th victory.
Oh, nice.
But to lose to Lance Armstrong is not the end of the world. And Dave Wiens looks very satisfied to be coming back to Leadville, 2nd place on the day, but greeted by his family. A great ride by a true champion.
It was really hard from the beginning, so my legs were what I call wrecked almost immediately. I was cooked on the first climb. I wasn't sure I was gonna be able to finish the race because St. Kevin's, the very first climb, was so hard with those guys driving at the front. I mean, he's Lance Armstrong. He's just off of the tour. Last year, he was just off of the couch. I rode fantastic today. I'm happy.
I told you.
Having set the early tempo for Lance Armstrong to break the record, Matt Shriver faded a bit to 5th. But in the closing miles of the race, he was able to gather up his strength and wound up 3rd.
Definitely one of the hardest races I've ever had. And this, at the end here, you're totally blown, and we were just battling. And I mean, I was in 5th place at the bottom of the climb. I felt pretty good. Saved a little bit. Good job, Alex. Blown away. It was pretty cool riding with Lance and Dave. You know, 2 legends. I mean, it's an awesome day, awesome experience.
I was in 3rd almost all day, and I bonked at the end. Started losing it around that long dirt road. Just came unglued, bonked, and then Matt got by me, Matt Shriver. And there was a guy right on my heels, but I managed to hold him off.
Travis Brown, welcome back.
And here is the top 10 of the 2009 Leadville Trail 100 mountain bike race. Winning the Leadville 100 is reserved for a very select few. But for every competitor, reaching the finish line is just as gratifying, and the joy is clearly evident on the faces of all the finishers. And the first place woman, the irrepressible Rebecca Rush.
I felt good all day, but I never really got any time splits, so I was kind of running scared. I didn't know how close the next woman was, and I still don't. Even coming down this road, I'm looking behind me, and I just kept pretending like the guys in front of me were women and kind of playing my own little game that way and trying to pick them off, yeah. Man, you were like my brain for me. He wrote out ahead of time the whole race course for me, time splits, because I didn't know anything. He's done it like 10 times, so.
She doesn't beats my, kicks my ass.
On another day, I would.
Right behind.
Really, today, if I finished no matter what time, would be a big celebration. I had some doubts. I thought, man, I don't know. I'm going to be able to finish, but I just kept going. I'm still weak. I feel like I'm still healing. So maybe next year. I've told people it's not my body that's stronger, it's my spirit.
I was more nervous before yesterday's start than I was before the tour this year. I didn't want to mess it up. And I ran like hell from Dave Wiens yesterday. I don't know who was giving me time splits, but they need to be fired. I can't fix a flat to save my life. I wanted to win this race more than anything, and he's going to pass me with a flat tire. It's special to have an out and back course and see everybody and get the words of encouragement. Leadville taught me that it's okay if you don't win. There's a lot more things that are a lot more important.
We're racing for an ore cart trophy. There's no money. It's this trophy, and it's a mining cart, and it's heavy. It's filled with rocks. It's a little bit dangerous because it tips over a lot.
I want Dave Wiens up here to share this moment with Lance. The volunteers in the city of Leadville, the people of Leadville, here's to you. Thank you very much. Very meaningful to a lot of people, this community.